Hi, I'm Iris. Today, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please share and subscribe to hear more stories like this. Mom, are you sure you want to go to this wedding? Emma asked, watching me struggle with the zipper of my only decent dress. You know how Vanessa's been treating you lately? I know, sweetie. But we've been friends for 15 years. I can't just skip her sister's wedding because things have been tense. Tense? She uninvited me from her Christmas party because she didn't want a teenager ruining the sophisticated atmosphere, and then told everyone you couldn't afford the gift she wanted. I sighed, finally winning the battle with my zipper. Look, I'm going. I already bought the gift, and I need to show her that single moms don't just disappear when it's convenient. Just promise you won't let her walk all over you again. I promise. I kissed Emma's forehead. Don't wait up. Jackson will pick you up for the movies at 7. Fine, but if anything happens, call me. I wish I'd listened to my daughter. 17 and already wiser than her 36-year-old mother. The ceremony was beautiful, but the reception, that's where it all began. I checked the seating chart twice, thinking I'd missed something. Excuse me, I approached the wedding planner. I can't find my name on the chart. She glanced at her tablet. Iris Jensen? Oh, you're at table 19. Table 19 was in the back corner next to the kitchen doors, and I was the only one assigned to it. There must be a mistake, I said. No mistake. That's what the bride requested. I stood there, clutching my purse, when I heard Vanessa's laugh. She was watching, champagne in hand, whispering to Claire. Iris, so glad you could make it, Vanessa called out, walking over in her bridesmaid dress. Sorry about the seating. Last-minute changes, you know how it is. Why am I sitting alone at a table for 8? Oh, we had to accommodate some important guests. You understand, right? Dean's new clients are here and, well, appearances matter. Claire nodded. And honestly, we thought you'd be more comfortable. You know, not having to make small talk with strangers. Since when have I ever had trouble talking to people? I asked. Well, since Tom left, you've been so reserved, so focused on Emma and work. We were being considerate. I could see right through her. This wasn't consideration. This was humiliation. Of course, I said, forcing a smile. How thoughtful. I made my way to table 19, setting my purse on one of the 7 empty chairs. The servers didn't even notice me at first, skipping my table during the champagne service. Excuse me, a deep voice said. I looked up to see a tall man in an impeccably tailored suit. Is this seat taken? Take any of them, I laughed bitterly. I've got 7 empties. He raised an eyebrow. 7 empty seats and the most interesting person at this wedding? Their loss? You don't know I'm interesting. Anyone exiled to the Siberia table has a story worth hearing. He sat down directly across from me. I'm Marcus. Iris. So, Iris, what's your connection to the happy couple? I'm friends with the bride's sister, or I thought I was. Ah, he nodded. And now you're questioning that friendship because she seated you in isolation? Something like that. A server finally approached with champagne, doing a double take at Marcus. Mr. Reed, I'm so sorry, sir. There must be a mistake with your seating. Marcus waved him off. No mistake. I'm exactly where I want to be. The server left, and I noticed Vanessa staring, mouth slightly open. You must be someone important, I said. I'm just someone who recognizes when a beautiful woman is being deliberately isolated. He leaned in. Want to have some fun? What kind of fun? The kind where we make your friend regret her seating chart. He grinned. Act like you're my date. I hesitated. Why would you help me? Let's just say I've been on the receiving end of social cruelty before. Besides, the bride's father has been trying to get a meeting with me for months. Imagine his surprise when his daughter's wedding becomes the venue. What do you do? I invest in things, people, futures. He extended his hand. So, what do you say? Partners in crime for the evening? I took his hand. Partners? What happened next was like something from a movie. Marcus insisted we be moved to a table near the front. Vanessa nearly tripped over herself, apologizing for the mix-up. Dean, her husband, suddenly couldn't remember my name despite having known me for a decade. Iris is one of my most valued consultants, Marcus told them, his arm casually around my chair. When I saw her sitting alone, I couldn't believe it. We had no idea you two knew each other, Vanessa stammered. Oh, Iris is full of surprises. Marcus winked at me. Aren't you, darling? I played along. Marcus and I prefer to keep our professional relationship discreet. Professional relationship? Claire asked, her eyes darting between us. Among other things, Marcus said smoothly. Vanessa's face paled. Iris, can I speak with you? Privately? In the ladies' room, Vanessa's true colors came out. What are you playing at? She hissed. How do you know Marcus Reed? Does it matter? Of course it matters. He's worth billions. Dean has been trying to get his business for years. Maybe Dean should try being less of a jerk then. Listen, she grabbed my arm. Whatever game you're playing, stop it. You can't just show up and suddenly be hanging on the arm of the richest man here. Why not? Because I'm a single mom? Because I work 2 jobs? Because I don't fit into your perfect little world anymore? Because you're not that kind of person. You're Iris. The reliable one who watches my dog when I'm away? The one who helps with party decorations? You're not someone who dates billionaires. I pulled my arm away. You don't know me anymore, Vanessa. You stopped knowing me the moment Tom left and I wasn't part of a couple you could invite to your dinner parties. That's not fair, isn't it? You seated me alone at a table by the kitchen. You've been excluding me for 2 years. You uninvited my daughter from your party and told everyone I couldn't afford a proper gift. I never said that. Claire told me everything, and Dean, and Lisa. They all told me what you've been saying. They're lying. No, you are, and I'm done with it. I walked out, head high, and returned to Marcus. Everything okay? He asked. Better than okay. For the first time in years, I see clearly. Good. Because the night's still young, and I think Table 19 deserves some redemption. Over dinner, Marcus and I got to know each other. He wasn't just rich. He was smart, funny, and surprisingly down-to-earth. We discovered we both loved the same obscure sci-fi show, hated olives, and had lost parents too young. So, single mom, he said as we danced. Tell me about your kid. Emma. She's 17, brilliant, and has 0 tolerance for bull. For nonsense. Sounds like someone I'd like. She'd eat you alive, I laughed. She's very protective. As she should be. And her father? Left us for his 23-year-old assistant. Classic, right? His spectacular loss. The night continued, and with each passing hour, Vanessa grew more agitated. When she caught us laughing together, she whispered to Dean, who approached Marcus with business cards and desperate networking attempts. I'd love to discuss this Monday, Marcus told him. Call my office. Absolutely! First thing! After Dean left, Marcus whispered, he'll be waiting a long time for that call to be returned. Why? Because I heard what he said about you earlier. Something about desperate single moms and gold digging. My face burned. You heard that? I make it my business to know who I'm dealing with. Dean showed his true colors within 5 minutes of meeting me. As the reception wound down, Marcus asked for my number. I'm not part of your revenge plan, I said hesitantly. This has nothing to do with revenge and everything to do with wanting to know the woman who maintained her dignity despite being surrounded by snakes. I gave him my number, not really expecting him to use it. 2 days later, he called and asked me to dinner. Real dinner, not a wedding pretense. I accepted. What I didn't know then was that Vanessa's world was about to implode, and not because of anything Marcus or I did directly. At dinner, Marcus was honest. I looked into Dean's business. He's been cutting corners, misrepresenting financials to clients. Are you going to report him? I don't need to. The SEC is already investigating, but that's not why I asked you out. Over the next few weeks, Marcus and I grew closer. He met Emma, who indeed grilled him mercilessly before giving her reluctant approval. He's okay, she told me later. At least he treats you like you matter. Meanwhile, Vanessa kept calling, suddenly interested in rekindling our friendship. I let her messages go to voicemail. Iris, please call me back. Dean says Marcus is a really important client prospect. Hey, it's me again. I thought maybe we could do lunch? Catch up? Iris, I'm sorry about the wedding seating. It was a mistake. I finally answered on her 6th call. What do you want, Vanessa? Finally! I've been trying to reach you for weeks. I know, I've been busy. Look, I wanted to apologize about the wedding. It was a misunderstanding with the planner. No, it wasn't. You deliberately isolated me. That's not... Stop lying. Claire already admitted everything. You've been talking behind my back for years, excluding me from events, making fun of my financial situation. Iris, please. I'm sorry if you felt that way. I didn't feel any way. You did those things. You said those things. Okay, fine. I said some things I shouldn't have. But we've been friends forever. Everyone vents about friends sometimes. Venting is one thing. Systematic cruelty is another. I'm apologizing. What more do you want? Nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. Is this because of Marcus? Are you using him to get back at me? I laughed. Not everything is about you, Vanessa. Dean needs this connection. His business is in trouble, and that sounds like a Dean problem. Please, Iris. If you ever cared about our friendship, I did care. For 15 years. You're the one who stopped caring when I no longer fit your image. I hung up. It felt good. Clean. The next week, the story broke. Dean's company was being investigated for securities fraud. He hadn't been embezzling, just misleading clients about investment returns and using new client money to cover losses. A classic scheme that always collapses eventually. Vanessa called again, hysterical. Did you know? Did Marcus tell you this was coming? Hello to you too, Vanessa. Answer me. Did you know they were investigating Dean? Marcus mentioned something about the SEC, yes. And you didn't warn me? After 15 years of friendship? Our friendship ended when you decided I wasn't good enough for your social circle. We're going to lose everything. The house, the cars. That's unfortunate. How can you be so cold? I'm not being cold. I'm being honest. Something you might try sometime. After I hung up, my brother Jackson called. Have you seen the news? Dean's face is everywhere. I saw. Vanessa just called me, crying, asking if I could talk to you. And I told her to leave you alone. But Iris, are you okay? I'm better than okay, Jackson. For the first time in years, I feel free. Over the following months, Vanessa and Dean's world collapsed. Not because of anything I did, simply because their choices caught up with them. Dean was charged. They had to sell their house. Their friends abandoned them. Claire came to see me, awkward and apologetic. I should have stood up for you, she said over coffee. I knew how Vanessa was treating you was wrong. Why didn't you? I was scared of being the next target. It's not an excuse, just the truth. No, it's not an excuse. Can we try to rebuild our friendship? I considered this. I don't think so, Claire. Trust, once broken, is hard to repair. I understand. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. I appreciate that. As for Marcus and me, we took things slow. He wasn't my savior. I was already saving myself when he arrived. But he was a partner who valued me, respected Emma, and never once made me feel less than. 6 months after that wedding, I started my own consulting business with Marcus's mentorship. Turns out, I had skills I'd been undervaluing for years. When I ran into Vanessa at the grocery store, her designer bags replaced with store brands, she couldn't meet my eyes. Iris, she nodded, trying to hurry past. Vanessa, how are you? Managing. Dean's sentencing is next month. I'm sorry to hear that. She looked at me sharply. Are you? Really? I'm sorry for the pain you're in. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but I'm not sorry that actions have consequences. You've changed. No, I just stopped accepting less than I deserve. She hesitated, then asked, Are you and Marcus still? We are. He's having dinner with Emma and me tonight. You know, I really am sorry. About everything. I studied her face, searching for sincerity. Maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. I know you are, Vanessa, but sometimes sorry isn't enough to rebuild what's been broken. As I walked away, I felt no satisfaction in her downfall, no joy in her pain, just relief that I was no longer tethered to someone who saw me as less than. That night, as Marcus helped Emma with her college applications, and I prepared dinner, I realized something important. The best revenge wasn't watching Vanessa's world crumble. It was building my own world so strong that her opinion no longer mattered. "Penny for your thoughts?" Marcus asked, coming up behind me. "Just thinking about how sometimes the worst experiences lead us to where we need to be." "Table 19 turned out to be the best seat in the house," he smiled. "For both of us. So that's my story. Not one of calculated revenge, but of standing firm in my worth and watching as the universe handled the rest. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop accepting mistreatment and walk away. What would you have done if you were in my shoes at that wedding? Would you have left or stayed to turn the tables? I'm curious to know what you would have done in that moment of decision.